But if everything is energy,
Mm-hmm.
and my research and my experiences are everything is energy,
Mm-hmm.
then how do we tune into that? How do we become even more sensitive to that? Because while you're talking about the, running on the trails and the trees, if we're in the city and we're not having a trail to run on, we're still experiencing energy.
Yep.
We just don't necessarily know it.
Right.
And then when we start to say, well, what am I feeling? What is this? And get curious,
Mm-hmm.
that's where we start tapping into what I think of as both the unknown
Mm-hmm.
and the quantum field, the quantum field of potentiality.
Right.
We have our linear brains. We're very well trained. We're well educated. Oh my God. Um,
Exactly. We now let's expand this.
Now let's expand it and let's go beyond what the personality knows
Mm-hmm.
into that bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody. Your host, Karen Bonnet Natraj. Welcome to Running Strong Mind Body Connection podcast. So excited to have you join me here again today. So, this podcast I'm loving, and it was born from my belief that true strength doesn't come from pushing harder, It comes from aligning with our body and our mind when it's in flow. And that's when we're at our best. So each week, I'm diving into what it really means to live and lead from the inside out with powerful tools to help you from shifting from that self sabotage to self love, from anxious to awesome, and from stress to success. So you're going to hear from inspiring stories, and I'm just so excited about the people that are coming up in my podcast over the next few weeks because these are experts with insights and practical wisdom. And some of them are runners, some of them are coaches, and many nutritionists, healers, all sorts of everyday warriors that come on this podcast. And I'm just so thrilled to bring them to you. These people have faced challenges, they've found resilience, and claimed breakthrough on their own terms. So whether you're chasing a finish line, or if you're just recovering from burnout and all the stress that goes on in the world today, or simply craving a deeper connection to your mind, body, and purpose, this is your place. This is your place to grow and laugh and have fun and enjoy listening to these amazing people. So, if you're ready to build that mental fitness, hey, I'm your girl. Take that first step. Go to my website, The Mental Fitness Edge. You can learn about the saboteur assessment. You can take my saboteur assessment, and I will happy to go over what's sabotaging you and turn your stresses into your greatest strengths. So, if anything, go to the YouTube channel at Running Strong Mind Body Connection and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So this is going to be an exciting year. So if you or someone you know has a powerful story or a mind body transformation, hey, send them my way. Let's keep building this community of strength, connection, and transformation. So welcome. Let's dive in. Hey, you guys, we're diving in today. Today I have this amazing person, Lori Seymour. She is the host of Wisdom Talk Radio. She's an international executive mentor and certified master trainer. So Lori is the founder and CEO of the Baca Institute. Oh, I'm interested to hear about that. She's also the author of the number one bestseller, The Unconditional Remembrance, Your Connection to Source. And this is going to be an amazing conversation. Lori, welcome to Running Strong Mind Body Connection podcast. Super excited to have you here. So thank you
Yeah,
so much.
I'm excited to be here. I just, we've been chatting for a bit, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to
Yes.
seeing what gets uncovered and revealed and opened up.
I am too, and I really hope people who are listening to this are just as excited as we are. So, where do you want to start, Laura? Just tell a little bit about yourself, and let's just dive into the Baca Institute, your book, where we can go with this.
Oh boy, we could go a lot of places, but let's see. The My work is so much about our potential. Because I used to be a psychotherapist,
Okay.
and I went into that still from the place of I'm really passionate and curious and interested in what's possible, kind of like the higher side of normal, if you will. And yet, I still came through all the stuff you have to come through growing up, and I lost my father when I was very, very young. I lost the person that I got to know what love was about and
Wow.
through. But so that curiosity took me first into being a psychotherapist.
Oh, wow.
And because that's a great way to learn about yourself
Sure.
and a great opportunity to learn about other people. But it wasn't enough for me. I mean, I became a psychotherapist. I was in private practice. I did amazing work with all kinds of people and taught at the graduate level. There was still something calling to me, there was that sense of there is more. And how do I connect with that? And
I want to interrupt you. I want
yeah,
people to
please.
hear this because I'm so resonating with you on how my transition was in life as well, is that we have this quiet churning in our gut and our heart that there's something different, there's something more. And to be at the level of your career and everything, and my level too, is we've taken a completely different path in life. But thank you for bringing that point out. I love that.
Yeah, it's so important to me because I spent so many years feeling that self-doubt
Yeah.
because I felt both the sense of there's something that I don't know. I haven't been clued into, but everybody else knows. So that along with that, this kind of the self-doubt, well, that's probably not true, and I'm just making that up, and blah blah blah. But it was strong enough, that inner call, really, that I don't think I ever let it go. And it took me into so many different places of exploring, of career exploring, of different experiences and trainings and travel, and always from that sense of what's possible. And when I had some experiences in energy, really working with energy and being exposed to that, I had some personal experiences of love, of the unconditional nature of love as an
Mm-hmm.
essence, as a frequency, not as an emotion. That
Okay.
that took me into a place of saying, you know what? Psychotherapy is limited. It can only take me so far. Then therefore
Mm-hmm.
I can only take others so far. And as I started exploring this whole other world and doing research into quantum physics, into what was possible, I got more, I won't say concrete, but yes, in a way, I was part of a small group. There were about 50 of us. That still was small. We were doing our own inner research. We were all wanting to know more about what was possible in life, what was true, what was, how to tap into that, how to tap into what I came to call our creative intelligence.
There you go. So I'm pretty darn sure you're not talking about energy like electricity. We're talking about energy that's in our body. And you guys know I do that because I work with energy. I'm a Reiki master and energy is all around us and we can feel that.
Yes.
And especially as runners, we're
Mhm.
always connected to earth and
Yes.
we don't respect that. But I do that when I'm out in the trails and whatnot because you can feel the energy from the trees and the forests and the places that we go. But then I love where you're going with this on quantum level of the physics and the energy, that quantum field. And this might be new to people, but I think it's been a big word for a long time. The
Mhm.
quantum is really is really becoming more profound in our world, and paying attention to that
Yeah.
is so
And
imperative.
and the question then can come up of how do we pay attention to that? I mean, you can't see a quantum particle.
Right,
It takes its quantum leap, but we can't predict where that's going to go or how that even happened.
right.
But if everything is energy,
Hmm.
and my research and my experiences are everything is energy, then how do we tune into that? How do we become even more sensitive to that? Because while you're talking about running on the trails and the trees, if we're in the city and we're not having a trail to run on, we're still experiencing energy. We just don't necessarily know it.
Right.
And then when we start to say, well, what am I feeling? What is this? And get curious, that's where we start tapping into what I think of as both the unknown
Mhm.
and the quantum field, the quantum field of potentiality.
Right.
We have our linear brains, We're very well trained. We're well educated. Oh my God.
Exactly. Now let's expand this.
Now let's expand it and let's go beyond what the personality knows into
Mhm.
that bigger picture. And it's when we're willing to start to do our own inner research about that. We're not going to read it in a book and get something new. We're just not.
Right.
I remember doing a lot of work with innovators and innovation. And I said, well, I should read a lot of the stuff in this field. I couldn't. I'd fall asleep because it was the same old. I mean, it was talking about innovation.
Sure.
So when I wrote Unconditional Remembrance, I really wrote it from being inside the experience of that.
Wow.
And it's really coded with the energies of all of that. And so people have experiences of their own connection, of their own remembrance of who they really are, of their connection with this, what we're calling this bigger picture, what I also call source.
So how did you become aware of this for you?
It's a really important question. It takes being quiet. It takes getting quiet. It doesn't have to mean you're sitting on a mountaintop for 6 years.
That'd be fun
And
though.
yeah, maybe, but we're also here to do things in the world, to create in the world,
Yeah.
and we are creators. And the more that I pay attention to what I'm feeling in my body, what am I noticing, and then getting quiet enough to start tuning into and tapping into my own inner guidance system. Each one of us has that. Each one of us, whether we experience it on the level of, oh, I've got this gut instinct. Okay, that's one. I've got an intuition. That's another. And when you really refine that and start to trust it, follow it, take steps around it, it gets stronger, louder, more reliable, and sustains what you're here to create.
I love that because I know I've experienced that many times in my life, and it brought me to where I am today. And the essence that, my belief is our bodies are here to serve us. It's here to serve our soul and how well we take care of our bodies. And I reflect on that of what I do in life and all the ultra running.
Yeah.
It's a fascination for me. And it can be confusing. You brought up one point of like, we can't see energy. Humans are so about the material touch. I can't touch it, it doesn't exist. But I do invite, and this is the simplest thing you can do. And I know I've said this before on podcasts, is that you can walk into a room of people laughing and you can feel that energy. And the first time I felt that energy walking into a room was when I started working for the city that I retired from. My first day of work, I walked into that office and I could feel the darkness and the anger that was in that office. I didn't know anything about it, but I
Right.
could feel it. And I walked in there thinking, did I want to be here?
And if you're a sensitive person, because I use a similar example, which I think is pretty interesting. If you're a person that tends to think you're the cause of things, you might go into that and say, they don't like me. Ooh, they were all having a good time and I've walked in and they're not. I feel something. And so how we identify or make sense of what it is that we do feel in energy is just as important as the fact that we're feeling something.
That's true. Wow, I never didn't think about it in that perspective.
Because you're
That's
probably not a person that does that to yourself.
you're absolutely right. We have to remove ourselves. It's really owning our own stuff and not taking on the external interpretations or energies of outside because that doesn't has nothing to do with you.
Right. So
And
we become the witness to it.
yes, as opposed to the victim to it.
And as opposed to the victim, and we can become the witness to our own growth and our own unfolding. I was initiated the Trey Grandmaster, and it's a particular way of working with energy, and it's both hands-on and it's in a meditation form, and the focus is very much about experiencing and opening to those different levels of consciousness, that where you start to feel that vibration of unconditional love, and that once you start identifying that, once you start feeling that in your own body, everything changes.
Oh,
You
for
know that
sure.
you don't have to keep focusing or thinking that you've got something wrong with you that needs to be fixed.
Right.
And you and
It's
the and it invites a kind of curiosity and an opening into, or a crossing the threshold into that which is possible.
so what is the actually I wanted to ask you too because you talked about the creative intelligence. What can we go in that direction and how this
Sure.
yeah.
So creative intelligence to me is source.
Okay.
If you think about how life works, we think our heads are so important. Our linear education is so important. I'm not dismissing it at all.
Right.
Let's bring that along and realize that there is a bigger intelligence that's here, available, and we can tap into that. We can start to co-create with it because we are creators. We're designed to create. We're designed to with this inner guidance system, and that is the creative intelligence. And so when we start to be able to dialogue with that, to do the research, to ask the questions, to bring through, what is important about this? What is it that's changing? Who do I need to bring onto my team? What direction do I need to take this new project? All of that is possible, not only from the sense of what we already know, but
Mhm.
starting to tap into that unknown, into that field of potentiality, which is the creative intelligence.
It is to create intelligence. You're absolutely, yep. And that's, so I think that's what a gift we are as humans, is we have that intelligence. We are logical thinkers, we are creative thinkers, but we also have the embodied energy of the field around us.
Exactly.
And so it's, we can look at our animals
Yes.
who
Yes.
are immensely unconditional love and
Absolutely.
don't hold grudges. You could step on a cat's tail. You could, you know, kick them because they ran in front of you. You weren't meaning to kick them, and
Mhm.
whatever. And they're like, "Oh, I still love you. Can we play
Yeah.
now?" But it's as humans, we're blessed with all these emotions. We're blessed with our thinking, a logical brain, but shifting from the amygdala hijack and stepping into the creative portal in our brain, the creativeness that we are meant to be, that
Yeah.
we are actually, and we were there when we were born.
Exactly.
And it's tapping
Exactly.
back into that energy and that. So we have to let go of our thoughts. We have to let go. We have to quiet the monkey brain. We have to
The
quiet
chatter.
it.
And again,
Yeah,
I don't want anybody to hear this and think, oh, that means I got to let go of the ego. I've got to let go of all the training I had. Uh-uh. I still, in all of the work I do, I was a trained psychotherapist. I was in private practice for years. That's still within me,
sure.
and it serves me well. It's just a piece of the whole puzzle, a piece of the whole field of possibility.
So what do you take your clients through? Do you have clients? You have a
I have clients. I see people one on one. I have programs. I do Tarea meditation twice a week online.
So explain that a little bit. What is that? I haven't heard that type of meditation or training.
Yeah. So Tarea speaks to that space between thought. That's just, this is partly the definition of the word.
Okay.
And it's that place where you're not asleep, you're not awake, but it's that in between state, because in that state everything is possible and everything is just is. So you're not hijacked. You mentioned the amygdala hijacking, which is
Hmm.
so important.
Right.
You're also not hijacked by your emotions. Emotions come up, you get to witness them. So it's a focus on the opening into new levels of higher consciousness in a way that keeps you grounded and connected and able, and not just able, but creating. So this isn't about going into bliss. This is about really receiving what is available, receiving the inner guidance, receiving the new energies, receiving the love, and it's all happening in energy.
Right.
And the work is in the way in which we open to that. We receive it in new experiences in the body, in new opportunities, because our frequency raises, we're not at that level where disease is. And so we're operating at a different frequency, and we start feeling more creative. We start being more creative. And it's the whole idea of attracting things is that, yeah, when you're vibrating at a higher frequency, what you're going to attract into your life will match that.
Exactly.
It's just how it works.
So I understand frequencies, but maybe you could explain it a little bit more to our listeners. And what I want to add to this before that is
Uh-huh.
when we are stuck in that amygdala hijack, right now the world is in a major level of stress. And that's being stuck in our amygdala. It's being stuck in that fear-based thought process. And this week, well, I run weekly challenges. I run a 5-day challenge every month, though. But the one I'm running is about awareness and really being aware of our thoughts. And
Oh,
people aren't. We
no.
just are not aware of our thoughts, but we
Mhm.
have all these emotions and all those actions that are actually a representative of the thought that we don't know we're thinking.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so it's about paying attention. And when you can be for me, I teach people to be in the present moment, and that's that space of now.
Mhm.
There's no past or future. It's the energy of now, and that the more we can do that is a way of coming into that energy, into that level of frequency, and getting out of that fear-based thought, because those fear-based thoughts are based on either the past or the future. Because if you
Yes.
look at this moment right now, what are we doing? We're just sitting here at this moment now and now and now, and there's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
And so when we move from that and we become in the energy of now and we come into the frequency, that will raise our frequencies. It's that vibration in our bodies that we can't touch.
But it's
But
there in every cell in the body.
it is in every cell in the body. And that's when the universe says, all right, you're ready to receive this.
Yeah. You're ready for more.
You're ready for more. And
Yeah.
things happen. And I'm a full proof of that, because how could I be running 100 miles all the time every other weekend?
That is a good question. I'd like to know the answer to that one.
That's true. And I really want you to keep going on this, is that our potential is not being hijacked in our fear base. That's not your potential. That's not what we're here for.
I see what
Our
you
potential is being in the present. Our potential is being in the energy of potential, the energy of that frequency of potential.
the energy of that which wishes to be created.
Yes.
Say it that way. And
Wishes to be created, or I've heard it from another person, the dream that's dreaming you.
that is a statement that is well spoken to.
Okay,
Yeah. But it's not, I guess I don't relate to that as well because it's a little ephemeral, and
cool.
I want to bring it down into, well, I'll bring it down into some people's experiences just in the Turiya meditation sessions, because these
Okay.
are short, these are simple. We could do them online, but I'm working with higher consciousness energy symbols during the time of the meditation. So whether someone has actually shown up that day or they're just subscribed that month, I'm working with everybody in that field. And people have experiences from the deeply relaxed, and wow, that was rejuvenating. I came in really stressed and now I'm not, to wow, I've been noodling about this new course, and suddenly during this time I got all of the modules and I had to take a moment to write them down so I wouldn't forget them. I have a whole new sensibility about how I need to deal with my husband or my wife, because suddenly I got clear on what the issue was. I got my brand colors. Someone once said, I got my brand colors from my new website. So let's take it out of the realm of spiritual and into the realm of, we're creating our lives, creating what is ready to be created through us.
Love that. I love that. And I know that many times that's happened to me of sometimes it comes to me in the middle of the night. It's like I'll just be in that. Well, because sometimes I ask, okay, what do I need now, or what's my
Uh-huh.
answer?
Uh-huh.
And just be in that. And it comes to me.
Yes.
And I actually came in here and created a whole new website, but and the program too, but it's being in that. And I know sleep puts us in that because it puts us in that next level of getting out
Yeah.
of it's
But you did something a little different, a little more than that. And that is you asked.
yes.
And that's the inner research. When you ask the question and you don't know the answer already,
Yeah.
you don't go in with an expectation, but you
Right.
ask and you were open. You were open to receive.
Yep.
And so you did.
Yes. And I know I've become, as I've done my own work, I've become more sensitive to the full moons for some reason. I'm not astrological. I don't know all that, but I do listen to a woman, Pamela Gregory, if anybody wants to look her up on YouTube. Fascinating. And she just talks about the stars and all that, like it's an everyday conversation. And it just kind of blows me away. But anyway,
Yeah.
I found that as I have opened up more my frequencies and my energy, that
Mhm.
I'm becoming more sensitive to certain times, and that's a full moon.
Mm.
And there was one time that, I mean, I woke up in complete, there was just this rumble in my gut. I usually carry everything in my gut. And I didn't know what it was, but did I really need to know what it was? But I did clear it out that next day. And then the next time it happened, I asked, please just move this on, please. I don't need this
Well,
anymore.
why did you think you didn't need it anymore? Did you know what it was?
I knew what it was.
Okay.
At the time I knew what it was, and
Okay.
still a long childhood fear-based situation.
Okay. Because then only reason I ask that is because
Sure.
sometimes there's things that feel like discomfort, that are discomfort. And I'm always curious, like, what am I needing to know about this?
Yes.
What purpose does this serve?
Right.
Because often, especially in the last years, as I'm moving into a new level, into a new frequency, I'll feel uncomfortable. You've heard the word the void. Yeah, I'm in the void and I don't know what's up and I don't know what's down and I almost don't recognize myself. And I feel like I just want to cry. I have nothing that I'm sad about, but I just want to cry. And when the void to me is so creative because it's what is filled with the unknown. It is that field of potentiality. It's filled with all our potential, but because it's still in that, it hasn't manifested, so we have nothing to hold on to. And our tendency as human beings is to try and fill that void. Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
coming down with something. Oh, there's something wrong. Oh, I've got old stuff coming up. Or, oh, I really needed to. And we'll explain it away instead of sitting in the unknownness of it.
That's such a great point. Explain it away. I got to understand this. That brings us back up into our brain.
Yeah.
It brings it back up to the logical brain and not feeling it, not letting our body feel.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about being human is that we are humans with emotions. The cats, they don't resent, they don't they don't get mad at me. They get mad at each other, they fight, they play, they whatever. But they don't hold on to that and we do, but I don't have to understand anymore. But have to I'm willing to allow it to leave because it's not serving me anymore.
Right. Right.
And so we have stories we've told ourselves from childhood that this is how I teach is that, these behaviors and these fear-based stuff it's our saboteurs, it's our inner critic, blah, 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 that we created for safety, but now they're sabotaging us. And so it doesn't serve us anymore.
Right.
And that's what the world is about. And it's getting past, it's peeling back that stuff that's back there. And for me, I want to be rid of it all and just be in that bliss
Yeah. Because
or in that energy
yeah,
of
I
that
hear
higher
you saying
frequency.
I don't want to be caught by that fear. I don't want to be comfortable. I don't want to have to be comfortable in order to feel okay. And
Yeah.
it sounds like you're much more curious
Oh,
about
totally,
what's
totally.
possible.
I
And
know.
I mean,
Well,
that's
and then and that's the journey of life too, right? It's the
yes.
journey of life. And the journey of life is like, well, Karen, should we run a marathon? And I'm like, I hate running. Well, now I've ran close to 50 milers. Now I'm going to do a 250 miler. And
Oh my
so
goodness.
it's like the possibilities, the
Mm,
potential that's keeping us there. And I'm so curious of what's more in my life. And
Right.
what that does, it just keeps opening more things for me.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
building my own curiosity. It's building my own creativity. It's building mine that I end up sharing. We don't keep this to ourselves because when we become at that
Right.
level, it's shared out there no matter what, because this is how we show up.
Exactly. Exactly. Last year I ran a retreat called the Mornis Retreat in outside of Barcelona, Spain.
Wow.
And I was doing it with a colleague and friend, and we both live from that perspective of we know there's more. We're always exploring that, and we brought that together with a group of people to be able to facilitate that exploration, and it was so amazing
How exciting.
because people do know that there's more.
Yes.
And even in the I don't know, the darkest night, sometimes there's just that glimmer of light. We don't even know if it's real, but maybe it is. And that's the piece that we need to bring forward. And okay, if it is, let me go explore it.
And I love that, because if you have that nudge in your heart, explore it. Don't be afraid of it. So many people will stay in that status quo because it's comfortable.
It's
And
known.
it's scary to make a change because I think I'm going to lose everything. It's
Mhm.
not true. Because what if you didn't lose anything, but you're going to gain more?
Exactly.
You're going to gain a whole lot more,
Yeah.
because when your energy and your frequency is higher, more things come to you.
So here's one way to think about that I think is really useful. I think about it in terms of co-creating with source or co-creating with those universal forces. If I think I've got to do it all and it's only from within what I already know, yeah, it's comfort, but it's really stressful. When I surrender to realizing I'm nothing by myself, but I am everything in this place of co-creation,
Yeah.
and recognizing that I am connected with something larger than myself. And source can't create without us in the world. We're
Right.
here to be the manifestors, to
Yeah.
create. So, but do I not want to do that in the highest way I can? It's way more fun, way
It's
more
a lot
exciting.
more fun, and you'll be a lot happier in the long
Yeah.
run. And just the joy that you're going to be exuberating in the world is going to be exponential. And we need more of that.
We do. We see all the things that aren't working or that we
Hmm.
identify as not working. Well, it seems to me that we're given the means to bring through the new solutions, and we just have to be willing to surrender to that.
To surrender to that, to hear that, to be open to it. Yeah, yeah. Lori, thank you so much. Do your meditation online, do you have a link for that you can share with people? And is this a membership thing that people join, or how does that work?
It is a membership thing. It's a membership thing in that people subscribe for a month at a time.
Okay.
So it's it's $59 for a month, and it happens twice a week. And then there's a whole members library. So if you can't make it a particular day, you can always go listen to the replay, or you can listen to one of the probably over 900 recordings that are in there.
Only 900?
I know. I know. We'll get more soon.
Don't, Laura, I'm surprised you're not limiting you're limiting yourself here.
I should just say about 900 to date. But I've been doing these for 10 years.
I'm just kidding.
I know you are. I know. I know. And it's a way for people to experience what we've been talking about,
Sure.
and it's always an intimate group. There's never a ton of people, but I do a little short talk. We have 20 minutes of a silent meditation. It's during that time that I'm working with everybody, with each person, and then people get a chance to share just a few minutes, but it gives people a way to express what they've noticed, what they've experienced.
Yeah.
And in that it makes it anchors it in people's experience.
And you're not alone. And that's one thing I think is super important. And I think a lot of the world is realizing that we became so comfortable through COVID and we became so
Hmm.
separated.
We did.
But it opened up a different world for us because it opened up these Zoom calls where you're in Colorado and I'm in California, and we would never have met.
Exactly.
So for me,
Exactly.
selfishly, going is I'm meeting all these amazing people all over the
Yeah,
world. But you're never, that's one thing too, is that people need to connect.
they
We
do.
are meant to connect. We are
Yeah.
meant to be together. We are not meant to be alone.
We're meant to be in community in some way or
There
another.
you go. Yeah,
And
exactly. I
I,
love
I
that.
started, I'll just briefly, I know we're coming to a close, but I started this year doing what I call salons of life. And I was told to do these. And these are happening in people's living rooms. And they gather a small group of people. I come in and I'm working there. They're having experiences of energy. And it's the energy of remembrance,
There you
of
go.
remembering who they really are.
I love that. Yeah.
And so whoever is the host gets to, have that sense of being elevated into that place of bringing these people, these amazing people together. And because I think we need to go beyond the screens.
Yes, we do. And we are getting there too. And hearing this, I hope people realize that too. And
Yeah.
they hear this. So thank you so much.
You are welcome.
You'll send me a link so that I can put in the show notes,
I will
and you
for
guys
the
can
meditation.
grab on the show notes. And hey, everybody, subscribe to my podcast, Running Strong, Mind Body Connection.
Yes.
See you next time. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you so much, Karen. That was fun.
It was fun.